Hello and welcome back, my YouTube family. I know it's been a while since you've saw me, but I am back and we're ready to go with the next series of YouTubes. So we're going to get straight into it. Today is a dynamic vinyasa flow. There's going to be a lot of movement and it will be focusing on the hamstrings, and we're not talking about just stretching the hamstrings or lengthening them. We're going to strengthen them as well. So when you're all ready, we're going to start off in a downward facing dog. Okay, so starting off in our downward facing dogs, just take a few breaths, a few kind of rounds of movements to just settle in. Maybe begin to pedal the legs, bending one knee at a time, pushing the heels towards the floor. Maybe just wiggling through the hips, getting into the sides of the body. And then whenever you're ready, whenever you feel settled enough, just dropping into stillness for me. Now just soften the knees and take a few big long breaths. Feeling the expansion of the belly on the inhale and the retraction of the belly on the exhale. Settling into the practice. And when you're ready, soften the left knee, and that right leg's going to go all the way up towards the sky for me. So flex the back toes, keep that left knee soft and just breathe a little bit. Bring the weight onto the back of the palms, feel the slight opening of the shoulders. Now we're going to start with the left heel. So take a big breath in, just lift the left heel up slightly. And the breath out, push the heel towards the floor. 2 more times. Inhale to raise it up. Exhale, bring it down. Last one, take a big breath in. As you breathe out and ground the heel, bring the right knee in towards your nose, round through the upper back, push the floor away, hold it there. Protract, so send the back of the heart towards the ceiling, a little bit of fire in the core, and then slowly step the foot in between the hands. Coming into a low lunge, just bring the hands high up on the fingertips for me. Roll the shoulder blades back and send the heart forward, send a big breath in here. As you breathe out, I want you to glide that right hip back, soften the left knee, come back, kind of like a modified half split. And we're just going to move between the two, so the inhale coming forward, rippling forward. And the exhale, that lengthening, that gliding of the hips back. And instead of just trying to keep the hips square here, notice what happens if you make a kind of figure of 8 motion. So can you get a little bit more sensation in the legs? Taking one more round. And then on your next inhale, as you shift the weight forward to the right foot, bring the hands a little bit forward and float that left leg. We're coming into a modified warrior 3. Flex the back toes, push the heel back. Take a big breath in. And as you breathe out, left foot next to the right, bend the knees, bring it low into a closed-footed squat. I know it's weird, bear with me. So from here, if the heels have to lift up, feel free. As you inhale, what I want you to do is bring the hands down, send the hips up into a forward fold. Keep the knees soft, and from here, push back upon the heels, look forward and begin to rise with a straight spine. So let the hamstrings kind of fire up as you come up. Big breath in. Breathe out, bend the knees, bring it down into the squat. We're going to do 2 more for me. Good. The inhale, we lengthen. We straighten through the backs of the legs. Take an exhale there. Push through the back of the heels. Engage through the back of the legs. Rise with a straight spine. Big breath in. Breathe out. One more time. Bring it low. So you should feel the legs kind of doing the work here. One more time. Straighten the legs. Fold it over. Push back upon the heels. Feel that engagement just underneath the glutes as you rise. Take a big breath in. As you breathe out this time, bring the hands towards your heart. Mountain pose. Take a pause. If you want to set an intention for your practice, as always, take this time to do so. So one regular salutation just to get us back on the ground. When you're ready. Arms go high, big breath in. Folding from the waist, hands find the floor, soften the knees as much as you need to. Take an inhale, look forward, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, plant the hands, step both feet back, find your plank. Take a big breath. As you breathe out, hips high, heels low, downward facing dog. Let's do one rolling vinyasa together. So inhale high up on the heels. Let that motion just ripple all the way through the spine as you come forward. We're going to drop the hips, lift the heart, soften the elbows, find an upward facing dog or cobra. And then exhale, seat back towards the heels, straighten the legs, coming back, downward facing dog. 3 big deep breaths. Equal weight between the hands and the feet. Again, connect to the breath. Make sure the breath's supporting the postures. Good. Left hand side, same flow. Soften the right knee first. Left leg goes high, keep the hips square, keep pushing the heel back. Working with that right heel. Take a breath in, right heel high. Breath out to soften, heel towards the floor. 2 more times. Inhale in to lift. Exhale to soften. 1 more time, big breath in. As you breathe out and the heel comes down, bring the left knee in towards your nose, ripple, roll the spine, stack the shoulders on top of the wrist, pause. For 2, and 1, step the foot in between the hands. If the hand needs to help it up a little bit, feel free. Now come high up on the fingertips. As you roll the shoulder blades back, push that right heel back, find length in the right thigh, big breath in. Breathe out, right knee softens, glide in that left hip back, finding length through the left hamstring. 2 more times, the breath in, shifting that stability forward. Spine nice and long, and the breath out, folding, recoiling back towards the right leg. 1 more time, big breath in, moving it forward. And breath out, that sinking, that softening back. Now as you inhale, look forward. Stability through the left foot, hands reach forward as if you're extending up and away from the floor, modified warrior 3. Back foot lifts. Stability through the left foot, take a big breath in. Breathe out, right foot next to the left, bend the knees, sink it down low, little bit of a squat. Good, 3 more, you know what's coming. Take an inhale, lift the hips up, moving with your breath. Exhale into the fold. Push the weight back, soften the knees, use the hamstrings to rise, straight spine, big inhale here. Exhale, knee bends, narrow squat. 2 more time. In your own breath, in your own pace. And again, not just sinking into the hamstrings, but making them do the work as we rise. So we're strengthening and lengthening them. 1 more time, bringing it down low. Beautiful. Straighten the legs up high. Take a breath in, straight spine. We're rising all the way up. And as you breathe out, soften into your Tadasana. Close the eyes. And just tune in. Notice already the effects of the movement of the body. Maybe the quickening of the heart, the quickening of the breath. Beautiful. Next round, standing round. So take an inhale, raise the arms all the way up. As you exhale, reverse in that action, so soften the knees, bring the chest forward, straight spine to fold, come all the way down. Take a big breath in, we're going to look forward, lengthen the spine. And as we here, just begin to shift weight from side to side for me. So knees are nice and soft, we're just connecting to the feet a little bit more. And the next time the weight's over towards the right hand side, soften the right knee, send that left foot back, modified warrior 3. Option to stay, option to float the arms back, just try not to open that left hip. Keep the spine nice and long. Take 1 more breath. And then as you exhale, big step back with that left foot, take a breath in to rise, send the arms all the way up and above the head. Good. Now bend the elbows. Bring the hands at opposite elbows for me. This is where the movement comes in. So keep a kind of buoyancy in the hip. Find that stability in the right foot. And the next time you inhale, straighten the right leg, lift the arms up. And as you exhale, bend the right knee, side bend towards the right, so elbows drop towards that right hip. The breath in, we're rising, we're straightening that leg, we're strengthening. The exhale, side bend into the left elbow towards the left hip. 1 more each side, big breath in to rise. Breath out, sink it down. One more time. Breath in, lift it up. Breath out to the left. Good. Now on your next inhale, rise, straighten that right leg, send the arms up high. And as you exhale, straight spine, you can soften the right knee a little bit, come forward, fold over that right leg, hands towards the floor. Good. You can grab blocks if you need to. And now from here, again, just begin, I like to call it like a dog wagging its tail. Begin shaking the hips from side to side and notice what's happening in that right leg. Good. Take a few breaths. Find a spot, and it doesn't matter what it looks like or where the foot's positioned, just a spot that's kind of screaming for your attention. Hold it there. Breathe. Every inhale, try and lengthen the heart towards the toes. Every exhale, see if you can soften the elbows to bring the belly towards the thigh a little bit more. Breathe. Hold in for 2. And 1. Inhale, square everything off if it's not already. Bend through the right knee, bring the hands around that right foot. Tuck the left toes under, send that right leg all the way up and back. Take a big breath in. And then slowly come into your vinyasas, 3-legged or 4-legged, rippling, rolling the spine forward. Knees, chin and chest, or full chaturanga, bring it down. Wrist towards the hips, inhale, upward facing or cobra. And then exhale, send it back, downward facing dog. 3 big breaths. Child's pose is always an option if you need it. And as you are here, just notice maybe the slight difference between the left and the right leg. Take 1 more breath. And then on your next inhale, look forward. Come high up on the toes, a hop, a hop, step or a jump all the way towards the front of the mat. Big breath in, look forward, lengthen. And the breath out to fold, bring it down. The inhale, root to rise, arms all the way up. And the exhale, palms towards the heart. Again, soften. Top of the mat. And if you need to, just let go of any control of the breath. And just breathe naturally through the mouth for a second. Let everything reset before we carry on to our opposite sides. Okay, last round of standing before we take it to the floor. So your next inhale, arms all the way up, big breath in. Soften the knees, swan dive forward, straight spine. On the exhale, come down. The breath in, we're looking forward, we're lengthening, we're still engaging through the back of the legs here. You begin those little shifts from left to right. Notice the shift away, the shift of stability. And the next time you roll over to the left-hand side, soften the left knee, send that right leg all the way up and back. Modified warrior 3, or if you want to bring the hands off the floor, of course, feel free. Breathe there for a second. Notice the strength in the left leg. Taking a big breath in. And as you breathe out, big bend in the left knee, right foot steps all the way back, back of the mat. The inhale, we rise up, we're coming up high lunge. This time as the arms come above the head, make sure you interlock them the opposite way, so the space that doesn't feel quite natural to you. Keep a kind of buoyancy, find that stability, and when you're ready, move in with the breath. So the inhale, we straighten the left leg, we send the arms up. The exhale, we bend the left knee, left elbow towards the left side. Big breath in to rise, straighten. Breath out, bend the knees, side bending towards the right. Use it as breath work, guys. 1 more each side. Big breath in. Breath out as you bend the left knee. Notice what's happening in that right thigh. 1 more time, take a big breath. Breathe out, side bend to the right. And now as you inhale, push the floor away, straighten that left leg, send the arms up high, take a big breath. And as you breathe out, left knee softens. Think about leading with the belly button first. So we're kind of like just uncoiling over that left leg to bring the hands to the floor or to a block. And again, just begin to shake the hips. Maybe flexing the toes, taking these like small circles with that left leg. And there will be a spot that's like, whatever your name is, I'm going to go with Sarah. That's the spot where I need the most love. And hold it there. Soften the shoulders, the eyebrows, the jaw. Most importantly, soften the breath. Always letting the breath have the last word. Every inhale, finding a little bit more space. And every exhale, a little bit more depth. Taking one more breath here. And then as you breathe in, look forward. Big bend through that left knee. Place the hands to the floor. Left leg all the way up and back. Three-legged dog. One more vinyasa. So feet can come to the ground. You can ripple. Roll the spine forward. Find your plank. Knees, chin, chest, or full chaturanga as you like. Hips low, heart high, upward facing or cobra. Keep the neck long. And then exhale, take it back into your child's pose. Crown of the head comes down. Seat between the heels. Good. So standing series over, we're going to just come a little bit more into the flexibility side. A little bit longer stretches and activations. So take 2 more breaths there. Let everything settle. And then when you're ready, slowly coming all the way up. Your choice, downward facing dog or all fours. I'm going to go for all fours today. So keep the arms nice and strong. On your next breath in, that right leg's going to go all the way up. Find a slight back bend. And as you breathe out, bring the knee in towards the nose. Stepping the foot forward in between the hands. Bend in towards that right knee. And again, keep the hands and the fingertips on the floor for me. Now from here, roll the shoulder blades back, lift the heart up and sink that left hip a little bit lower to the ground. So you should feel a nice sensation in the left thigh. If you're uber flexy and want more, the right hand can grab the left foot, but for me, this is enough. So it's not about always going to our depth. It's just about feeling the sensations that's available to the body today. Take a few more breaths here. Let the hips keep sinking towards the floor. Spine nice and long. Take a big breath in. And as you breathe out, slowly glide that right hip back, come back into your half split. Flex the toes, good. And just like we did in the standing variation, I want you to shake the foot from side to side. And notice the different sides in the legs for me. So what happens if I take my feet to the right? What can I feel? Or maybe dropping the big toe edge. Beautiful. So just get in that whole top of the joint, nice and mobile. And then when you're ready, hands can come on blocks. Bring everything back to center and hold it there. Now instead of just sinking and jamming into that knee joint, I want you to soften the right knee. Now pull the right heel back towards that left knee. So you've got a little bit of activation. You should feel a lot going on just at the back of that right hamstring. Good. Breathe. Keep the spine long. Equal space between the front and the back of the throat. Hold for 2. And 1. Inhale to bend back into that right knee. Place the hands to the floor, step it back. Either just all fours, give it a little bit of a shake, or downward dog if you went there from the start. Good. One last little one, and then we're down onto the ground, guys. So keep the palms nice and strong. Left leg goes high, big breath in. Breathe out, slowly bring the knee forward. Step the left foot in between the hands. Good. Bend into that left knee, sink the hips down low, roll the shoulder blades back. Good. Spine long. Again, try and get that kind of energetic stretch here. So pull the left heel back towards the right thigh up towards the heel. Breathing into whatever sensations is available to us today. Make sure there's no creeping tension in the body. Make sure you've still got that nice steady control of the breath. Taking a big breath in. And as you breathe out, slowly begin to straighten that left leg, come back, half split. So roughly back knee and the hip aligns, and then as course, just start to discover that whole line of the left leg by maybe shaking the foot from side to side. Maybe you're bending the knee and just getting that top of the femur joint just rolling into the left hip socket. Good. And then when you're ready, bring everything through center. Send the chest forward, but keep that slight bend into the left leg. We don't want to overstretch. It's not good for us. It only creates numbness within us and injuries. So keep a soft bend. Pull that left heel back. Send the right thigh forward. Shoulder blades back and down. And you should feel not only that lengthening, but the stability within the, I don't want to call it a stretch, but you know what I mean. Good. Breathe in here. Take 2 more breaths. Nice, long, steady exhales. Take a big breath in. Big breath out. And then slowly begin to bend through the left knee. Step the left foot back, come back into all fours, give it a tiny bit of shake. And just to finish today, we're going to do a little bit of hip opening, seeing as your hamstrings are a little bit more lengthening. And we're going to come into a wide-legged forward fold. So around 90 degrees with the legs, you don't need to go any bigger if you don't want to. Again, soften the knees. If you're here and you're completely rounded and sitting back, you can place the sit bones, you can place a block underneath your sit bones, chest forward. So we're trying to get this roll into the pelvis here. So if you want to do a little, I call them Beyonce twerks in my classes, then of course, feel free. And then whenever you feel ready, knees can soften. Think of leading with the belly button first. For me, I like to just shimmy from side to side. I keep the arms nice and wide. I slowly begin to bend forward. And I find a spot that's like maybe my 70%. Shoulders are relaxed, tension check there. So never go into that 100 spot. Reaching around 70. Making sure I can still breathe freely. And I'm letting the breath and the time in the posture just reveal maybe a little bit more depth, a little bit more sensation. If you have a head, you do have a head. If you have a block in front of you, you can bring the head to the block. Sorry guys, I am out of practice. Good. Taking 3 more breaths, so slow everything down. See if you can make your exhales a little bit longer than the inhales. And 1 more breath here. And then on your next breath in, begin to walk the hands all the way in, super nice and slow. Bring the feet back together. Give a little bit of a shake if you need to. And then come lie down all the way upon your backs. Congratulations, we are done. So if you feel like your practice needs anything else today, a twist, anything at all, feel free to take them. But if not, I will leave you in that sweet, sweet Shavasana.